Testing. Yeah. Oh, look at that. We in the building. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to another episode of No Negative Behavior. Your host, Big Dice. Let me turn my phone down. So unprofessional with me. Look at me. Let me get that. Here we go. How's everybody doing today? Oh.
Shut up! You had your finger in my ass!
Wait, what's this, Cruz? What's going on here, man? Take this and fix this for me, please. Yeah, here we go. I don't know, man. The screen just went crazy. Come over here, Cruz, and look at this. There we go. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. I didn't mean. Hey, how's everybody doing? Once again, like I said, welcome to another episode of No Negative Behavior. I got my beautiful guest in the building. What's your name?
Tanell
Davis is in the building. She came in the building, definitely. A long way. How you doing, Tanell?
I'm good.
You're looking good. Sure is looking good. Sure is looking good. Everything.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt. I can't wait for you to be here, you know. It's seriously speaking, it was another sad day in hip hop.
Yes.
You know, we lost another rapper, Nipsey Hussle. You know, gun violence is terrible. Only 33 years old. It's crazy. You know, I hate to see it. It was very sad.
Very sad.
You know, very, very sad. My condolences to his family. You know, he left his daughter, his wife behind. You know, it's just terrible. It's a terrible thing, you know. You're trying to do the right thing out here, get your life together, and you know, there's a lot of conspiracies of what happened to him, but you know, I can't really speculate. I don't know what happened. I just feel bad about it, you know.
Yeah.
We
Prayers
lost.
Go out to his family.
Definitely.
Wife,
Prayers,
kids.
all of that. He was married to
Lauren London.
Laura London. My condolences go out to them.
Yes.
Seriously, you know. I got my 310 hat, got my
representing.
Yeah, I got my Crenshaw shirt on. You can see it. Crenshaw.
You need to stand up, let them see that.
310 Crenshaw. I got it on. I'm representing today. You know, another day in hip hop, man, and a sad day in hip hop, man, a terrible thing. But you know, we our condolences once again go out to Nipsey Hussle and his family.
Absolutely.
California love, straight up. So, but we have a guest in the building. Once again, Tanell Davis is here. We're going to get into her resume right now because her resume is crazy. First and foremost, Tanell, where you from?
I'm actually from the Bronx.
The boogie down Bronx.
The Bronx.
Okay, that's what's up.
All my life.
The Bronx.
The
What part of the Bronx?
Northeast Bronx,
Northeast,
near Gun Hill Road.
Gun Hill Road. All right, that section, Baychester, Edenwald. Shout out to all of them places over there. That's right. And then you moved to Mount Vernon.
I moved to Mount Vernon. I went to school in Mount Vernon High School, but I always lived in the Bronx.
Okay.
There was a period after high school where I did live in Mount Vernon for a few years.
Right.
Yeah, back to the Bronx.
Yeah, because I met you in high school back in the day.
Yep.
That's right. I met you in Mount Vernon High School.
Yeah.
Me and her go way back. I know Tanell
Way
for some
back.
time. She always been real cool, you know, keep people in the friend zone, right? That's right. We talked about that.
That's not intentional.
Yeah. And, you
I'm
know,
just cool like that.
she's mad cool, y'all. She's mad cool. And she's a workaholic. She stays busy. Work.
Absolutely.
She stays busy. You know, her resume is crazy.
That's how you get it.
I could let me run down a couple of things you did here. First of all, you did some bios for people, right?
I sure did.
Screenplays, video treatments, wrote books, Lexington Style magazine, this sitcom. You wrote for different artists, like you wrote something for the Lost Boys, web series, Girl Talk, the lipstick.
Yeah.
You did the lipstick too.
Yes, lip gloss.
And you had an extensive run in the music industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
You did your thing. You've been doing your thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of this. Like
Where you want to start?
Let's start from the beginning. Let's start with the bios. Like
okay. The very first bio I think I did was as far as celebrity status wise. I was working at Universal Records, and Kim Lee had started her, I believe it was a management company.
Okay.
And she asked me, and she was putting things together. She had different clients she was dealing with. And she said, I have this client that I'm working with. He's he's new, he's a DJ, he's trying to get on, and I need you to do his bio. And I think at the time I was like, okay, I did it for like $200.
$200.
Yes, and then and she gave me his contact, the artist his contact, and I called him, and I was at home, and we spoke on the phone and ran it down, and it was DJ Khaled, actually.
You see this? Yeah. We the best. DJ Khaled. She did his bio.
DJ Khaled.
Who would have ever thought?
I'm sure he doesn't remember that, but yeah, it was real.
I would remember it. You know,
yeah.
I know you remember it. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
The DJ Khaled's bio, you know, before he was great as he is right now.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. That's super dope. You know, you got to be nice to people. You know, you never know.
You never know how it's all connected.
For real.
You have to be nice to people.
Shout out to DJ Khaled if you're watching this.
Shout out DJ Khaled.
She did your bio, bro. Remember Tanell. So
Hi, Kim.
What about the screenplays?
Well, I've always had a thing for writing, creative writing. I think I got that from my mom. Hi, Mom.
Shout out to Mama Duke.
She's an excellent writer, but I had started, I was always a child wanting to be in the light. And originally when I was younger, it started out wanting to sing and dance and all of that stuff. But then as I got older, I wanted more behind the scenes.
Okay.
So with the writing, I had started doing like consumer ads, and what that is like the ads that you see in magazines. So I did a few for Faith Evans.
Really?
112, Brian McKnight. There was a group called Profile years ago. For Jet Magazine, Vibe, The Source, a few publications. So
so you always knew that you wanted to be a writer?
Yeah, always did. And a lot of times, like when I was working in the industry, you had to do a lot of things under the table, you know, because I was an employee there. So it was a lot of things like, all right, can you do this? And, you know, we'll fix it on the end. It's the same for the video treatments and stuff like that.
Right. Do you get paid when you do these things, or?
Well, you're supposed to get paid.
Supposed to get paid.
I didn't get paid a lot of money. Like the sound effects kill me.
You didn't get paid
yeah, a few projects I did. A lot of it was like I paid a lot of dues, so a lot of times I didn't get paid.
Right.
And it was just to get credibility. My name.
Yeah, get your material out there, get your talent out there.
Right.
You know.
But there were a lot of independent projects I did get paid for.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And you know, tell us about Cutthroat.
Oh God, that was my
I had a clip of that.
Oh man.
Cutthroat.
No, that was actually. Oh yeah, we do have a clip. That was my first film that I wrote, and I had started it in like 1995. And at that time, I was at Capitol Records, so I didn't have that much experience. So I waited a few years and then picked it back up, and I wrote it. And it's so funny because after I wrote that screenplay, I don't know if you remember or heard of a show called Platinum.
Platinum.
It was a show with Platinum. I want to say Sticky Fingers. I forget who was in it, but it was about two brothers in the music game, and that was the premise of Cutthroat. And I was like, somebody stole my idea. You know. So during that time, with Cutthroat, I tried to sell it, get it out there. So I took a trip to L.A.
L.A. 310.
I took a trip to the 310, and prior to me going, I set up a bunch of meetings. Paramount Pictures, Mundy Lane, which was Denzel Washington's company.
Because you was trying to sell.
I was trying to sell it, so I met with a bunch of different independent producers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wait. So we spoke about this before, the Cutthroat.
Okay.
Someone tried to work with you on Cutthroat, right?
Someone tried to.
Didn't the big homie out of L.A., didn't he try?
Oh.
He tried to work with you, right?
Yeah. So one day, in the midst of me shopping Cutthroat, I had 4 other films. Okay. And at the time, my manager was William Tootie.
Tootie, shout out to Tootie.
Yes, rest in peace.
That's right, rest in peace, Tootie.
Yeah, and Tootie had a good friend named Devette Singletary. Rest in peace. She was a beautiful woman.
Dope.
And she was very well connected with Billy Woodruff, who did the movie Honey, and very good friends. she and I became really good friends, and she was, like I said, very well connected. And she put me out there, and she had a connection with John Sally, and she knew that he was trying to do
Now,
the
you know
film.
who John Sally is, you know. John Sally, go ahead,
not
continue on. That's definitely not
That's
John
definitely
Sally.
not him.
And that's my boy Sway.
Sway, yeah.
That's Sway. You know, from what is it? It used to be
106.
Yeah, 106 in California. I spent some time out in California, out in Lompoc, and you know, I used to listen to Sway and Tech in the morning all the time. They was dope, you know. And you know, there's some photos of Tanell that we pulled up. You know, she's been all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So you get to see these photos right here. But continue on, tell the story.
So DeVette had mentioned that John needed to fulfill this deal. He had a 5-picture deal, $20 million worth.
$20 million.
Yeah. So he called me at home. I was home cooking one day. I'll never forget this day. And I was, I got a call. He's like, "Can I speak to Tanell?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is Tanell. Who is this?" He said, "John Sally here." And I'm like, "What?
John Sally.
Why is he calling me? What's going on?" You know, like, what? How'd you get my number? He said, "DeVette gave me a number. I have a deal, and I'm looking for some pictures. Do you have any pictures?" And so I said, "Well, I have 5 screenplays." And he said, "Well, this is what I need. I have a 20-picture deal.
Wow.
$20 million picture deal. And are you on board?"
Right. Are you on board?
Come on, you don't even have to ask that question.
For sure.
So
$20 million
I was like, absolutely.
deal.
So I got excited and everything and thought about it. I'm like, all right, let's get to work. And that was short-lived because I think I don't think he was steady on that end. And then he called me one day and said, "Well, I have another partner that's going to come in with me on the films." And I'm like,
"Who is this?"
Okay, who is this partner? And he's like, "Suge Knight."
Suge Knight, oh my God.
I was like, oh.
Suge
And at the
Knight.
time, it was like in between that East Coast, West Coast drama. And I was at...
You don't want to work with Suge
Bad
Knight.
Boy.
Right. Nobody wants to work with the big homie Suge. I'm telling you, he's bad business for real. Like every time you hear about Suge Knight and business, you always hear about some type of corruption.
Yeah.
And I think you made the right choice because you know it probably would have took it way left.
Yeah.
You know, he probably would have took it way left.
And this was in the midst of the
beef.
buildings, the beef,
right,
being bombed, and I'm
beef.
like, oh my God, you know.
Oh yeah, that's right, the building and all of that. That's
everything.
Crazy. So you was around for all of that. You was around at a very important part of hip hop. That was like a pivot in hip hop. That beef with the West Coast, East Coast, West Coast beef.
Strong
that
pivotal
was
turn.
that was pivotal at that point right there. In fact, around that time, I was you know my story, and you know I was out in Lompoc, California, at that time when they was beefing, and I can remember a guy. I was talking to a guy, and I liked the artist. Shout out and rest in peace to Tupac Shakur. But at the time, I was calling him Tupac, right? Tupac. And then I remember I almost got into a fight for calling him Tupac. Yeah, Tupac. He was like, his name is Pac, not Pac. His name is Pac. And, you know, I guess they thought it was intentional, but, you know, that was a very, very pivotal time in hip-hop. You know, two coasts going against each other. And, you know, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was really
ridiculous.
Too.
It was ridiculous. More violence, ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you didn't work with Suge Knight, did you?
No, I did not.
Good.
It kind of
We're going to
fizzled.
give you a round of applause for that. For not working with the big homie Suge. Nobody wants to work with you, brother.
Things have a way of working itself out. You know, when it's meant for you, it will be. If it's not, it will not happen.
That's a fact, Jack.
So
say that again, please.
If it's meant for you, it will be. If not, it will not happen.
For sure.
No.
For sure. So, all right. So let's talk about like the video treatments. Is what's that about? What is a video?
A video treatment is simply a short story, like the video you see. So it's the actual script for the video.
Okay.
You know, everything. It has the slug line, and the slug line is like, you know, what the character is doing at that time.
Right.
You know, their actions and certain format.
All right.
You know.
Pay attention, yo. She's dropping some jewels on y'all. Make sure you pay attention. I hope you got your pen and pad out, because I know a lot of people, they like to write. They write screenplays, they write books and things of that nature, but they really don't know too much about the industry and how you could get paid and, you know, what you should be knowing, what you should be doing. You know, make sure you pay attention. Make sure you pay attention. So how did Lex Magazine start? What made you start that?
Well, what made me start the magazine?
You just your love of writing. You like to write.
I love to write, but there was a lot of parts in the magazine I couldn't write, like the sports.
Okay.
You know, I would mainly focus on the lifestyle. I would mainly focus on the lifestyle part, fashion and beauty, you know, women's personal needs and stuff like that. But I did it because I just had the content or ideas that I wanted to put together. And it was more of a way to try to stay connected with the industry. Okay. So it's almost like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, I'm leaving the music industry. I'm not leaving, but I'm still involved. And you're
starting your own in the way you like starting your own.
Right,
like
starting my own. That's it.
You're branching out. Like, you know.
There you go.
There you go. That's it. Lex Magazine is just another part of your resume. More talent. And that's what's up. Like, you chasing your dreams.
That's it. And like anything else, is when I started the magazine and after I did it and working with a graphics person and doing the website, you look at your product and you go, wow. Just like with the clothing line, you go, wow, I did that. Right. That's my concept.
The finish, you made it actionable. You actually
it's tangible.
It's tangible
right
now.
There.
Right there. Right. Your work.
Right.
Your work, and I think once you see your work, that motivates you to do even more.
That's it.
Even because you the list goes on. We not finished. I'm going down this list right here. The list goes on. All right, so we talked about the Lexstyle magazine, and then you wrote a sitcom.
Yes.
You wrote the sitcom. You see.
So
it never stops, y'all. It never stops. Got to shout out. Give another round of applause because this is B.I.G. Pay attention. So tell us about the sitcom.
So the sitcom, at the time I was working, I'm going to connect the dots and tell you who's who. At the time I was working for Mark Pitts at Universal Records.
Tell us about Mark. Who's Mark Pitts?
Mark Pitts is...
For those that don't know.
Mark Pitts is doing some big things in the industry.
For sure.
He's got a long track record.
Right.
And look him up.
Google Mark Pitts. If you don't know who he is, if you don't know, you need to Google him and check him out because Mark Pitts is B.I.G. You need to know who Mark Pitts is.
At that time, he was B.I.G.'s manager, Faith, Changing Faces, and Mark is doing big things. He's a good man, and I'm glad to have worked with him. Also, so what happened was Mark had artists on the label. So he at the time had Mark Pitts Management, By Storm Entertainment, which is a record label, a subsidiary of Universal Music Group. Okay. And so one of his artists had a manager, Troy, Little Troy.
Little Troy.
Little Troy.
Hey, pull that picture up.
Troy
We got to
Carter.
show who Little Troy is because a lot of people don't know who Little Troy is. There's the picture with the guy with the glasses and the suit on. Little Troy. Troy Carter. We're going to pull up a picture of Troy Carter. And so I want everybody to see who Troy Carter is because this guy right here is B.I.G. for real. Like, I mean, Troy Carter is big news.
Deal.
Yeah, he's very big. Big deal.
After they hear the story, they'll know why.
Yeah, he's a big deal. And go ahead, continue to tell the story as Cruz pull a picture up. This is Troy Carter right here. That's Troy Carter. Little Troy.
I got a better picture.
He don't look too bad. He look good. He looks chic in that picture.
Yeah.
He's
a good. Now that's a good dude.
Yeah,
that's
Troy
a good
Carter.
Dude. Troy is a good man.
Right. His money speaks for itself.
Yes.
He's worth $60 million.
Yeah.
He's worth $60 million. That's according to Google. He's worth $60 million. So if you don't like that picture, you like it now after I tell you how much he's worth. 60 mil.
So Troy at the time was the manager, and he and I would speak every time he would come in from Philly and stuff like that, and we became really cool. I helped him out with a situation, and he just always remembered that we were just cool.
You got to tell that story. You have to tell.
I'm going to.
You got to tell that story about Troy Carter. Tell that story, please.
Tell a story.
Yes.
Okay, so Troy, after I left the record label because Troy and I had stayed in contact somewhat. I hadn't heard from him. I went on maternity leave or whatever. Hadn't heard from Troy, but I get a call one day at home, and I got a lot of surprise calls at home now that I think about it.
Okay.
And it was Troy, and he said, Tanell, and this was like maybe 6-7 months after By Storm Entertainment.
Right.
And he said, are you still writing? And I said, I am. He said, well, I have a project for you. And I'm like, really? He said, yeah, a friend of mine, good friend of mine, I'm out here in L.A., a good friend of mine has an artist that he's managing. He's doing a TV show, and we have 3 characters for the show, and I have a premise. Can you pull something together and write a pilot? And I said, absolutely, because I just love to write.
And she loves to write.
And I said,
right
no,
up her alley.
Not exactly. So I did that, and in 2 days I finished, and I called him.
Wait, in 2 days?
2 days.
Expedient.
Yeah.
2 days.
2 days.
It's dope.
I was just on a creative flow, so it's like sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't.
I understand that.
So I was just flowing. So when I called him, I said, Troy, I did it, and I co-created 3 characters, and I finished. And he said, no way, there's no way you finished. I said, yeah, I finished. And he said, well, I have a surprise. I'm out here in L.A., but we like it. We like the show. We want you to come out here. And I have somebody in the background. I heard a girl screaming in the background, like, I love it, that's dope.
Right.
And I'm like, who was that? That's Jada. Jada who? Pinkett. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Wow.
So
that's dope.
I'm wowed.
Jada Pinkett. you making so many contacts. Like the social network is, that's dope.
Yeah. So from there, when he told me, he said, yeah, I'm out in L.A. with my friend. And I'm like, who's your good friend? Will Smith and James Lassiter. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Can't make this up.
Yeah, so.
Can't make this up.
I go to L.A. My son was about 9 months old then. I go to L.A. and I go to this party. Will Smith had a party, Overbrook Entertainment. He had just launched Overbrook Entertainment. And I'm shaking hands with Halle Berry and Mekhi Phifer and Sharon Stone, and I'm like, oh my, and I'm by myself.
Right.
Walking the red carpet like, wow.
Dope. How did you feel?
And you know who I saw there?
Who?
Hev.
Shout out to the diddly D. Rest in peace to my boy Heavy D. You know what I'm saying? Money on the Mount Vernon's finest.
Yeah.
He was there too?
He was there.
So
and when I ran into him, you know what he said?
What?
He came up, he said, oh, this is my girl Tanell from Mount Vernon. She made it.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
You made it? Yeah, we already here. But what are you talking about?
But it was cool. So at the time, and I also ran into Bentley Kyle Evans, who is the executive producer of Martin. Okay. And I love Martin. So for those of you who don't know who Bentley Kyle Evans is, he's the one, if you're a Martin's fan,
right.
He's the one that plays the gay guy on Martin. He's like, oh, you saw Almondy, the black guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That was him. And at the time, he had a show coming out, and I think they were going to do the one that they came out with, All of Us. Okay. So nothing happened with the pilot. So
at the time, like, you getting all of this energy, from all these different places. You had to be floating on one of these clouds, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Definitely was.
Right.
Scared
too.
Yeah. I remember saying to Troy, what do I do? He's like, yo, you here network. And I'm like,
Because the Hollywood, let's say Hollywood, but, the actors, they have their own little community.
Yep.
And it's not a very big community. They all know each other. And now you're becoming a part of this community.
Yeah.
Right? It's a different community. It's not, Edenwald. It's not Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
It's not 125th Street. This is a working community. And they working for big bucks, too.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's what's intimidating, because it's like, that's what you win, but you're not automatically accepted.
Right.
So it's like you have to fight a little harder and improve yourself a little more.
Pay attention. Yeah, pay attention.
So, but it's like that's why
some
you just
fake love in there too.
Absolutely.
A lot of fake love in
absolutely.
there. I'm sure there's a lot of fake love in there. Smile on your face. All the while they want to take your place.
Backstabbers.
For sure. But you hip to that. A lot of us, we could recognize, we don't always recognize the truth, but we could recognize a lie or somebody being phony.
That's right.
So it's all good. So you was able to, maneuver in that crowd.
I was, and I mean, it would be totally different now, of course, but I did
because
the best I could because of my experience.
You know, and let me tell you, there's a story that I always tell is about a traveler, and this traveler, he ran across a butterfly that was trying to. It was a butterfly, but it was still in the cocoon, and it was trying to get out of its cocoon. So it was kind of webbed up and trapped, and he was watching it as it was trying to get out of this cocoon, and he seen it struggling to get out of the cocoon. So he pulled out his knife and he cut it out. He cut it out of the cocoon, and the butterfly was kind of happy, and it tried to fly, and it fell. It tried to fly, and it fell, and it couldn't fly. And it ended up crawling on the floor and getting eaten by the other insects. And the reason why is because for the butterfly to break out of the cocoon, he had to use his wings. He had to exercise his muscles.
He had to grow more.
He had to grow more. And, you know, breaking out of that cocoon strengthened his wings so he was able to fly.
Right.
So he, like, let him out too soon, and he wasn't able to do it. So, you know, that's, you know, now, what you know now, you're ready.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. And you know what?
Strong.
I always said, you know, as much as I used to grind in my 20s and acting and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh God, I want this, I want that. I thank God he didn't give it to me then, because I would have messed it up.
Right. It wasn't time.
I would have messed it up.
It wasn't
Money
time,
and all.
yeah.
Yes, it wasn't time.
And you see that a lot.
Yeah.
You see that a lot with a lot of people. They have talent.
Yeah.
But it's not
too soon.
It's too soon. It's too soon. Cultivated talent is not a really good thing. And you know, you gotta go through some things to get where you are now. You know, and be ready for it.
And be ready for it.
And
I mean, because
ready for
everybody, they'll say they want something so bad, but really, are you ready for it?
Right.
Really.
That's a fact, Jack.
You have to be ready.
That's a fact.
You have to be mature and learn and know to accept it.
That's right.
You know,
For sure. So, you know, like getting back to our boy Troy, right? So tell him about
more.
the check. When you tell him about the check, you remember you gave Troy the check when he was.
I gave okay. So I gave him the check, and so what happened was, the reason why we got cool is because Troy had been traveling back and forth from Philly to New York, you know, struggling. He's a manager, and, you know, they put out a lot of money. He didn't have money, and they was holding out on his money.
Right.
And I gave him his money. Like, I just kind of did some, you know, here you go. And
she did the right thing. She did the right thing. The guy, you know, he wants his check, and they withholding his check, as sometimes they do in these industries. They don't pay you when they're supposed to pay you. Sometimes you even have to take them to court to get your money. She had access to the check, and she said, "Here, Troy, take your check. Take your check." And she went, "Take your check." So
he, after that, he was like, "Tanell, thank you so much. You know, this, and that." And the next week, he sent me flowers like a thank you. It was totally innocent. He's a good guy. Never, no, there you go. He really was. Troy he was about his business, as you can see now.
Right, he sent you flowers.
$60 million worth later.
Okay.
But he did. That was like a gesture, a thank you gesture.
Okay.
And then from there, that's why I guess he remembered that, and then he called me, "Are you still writing?" And it's funny because I remember years, fast forward a few years, I had an independent acting program for kids in Westchester, and it was to help to boost their morale, their confidence, and stuff like that. And we would write, I would personalize monologues, commercials, and stuff like that to help them to come out. And I remember watching the Eve show one night on UPN 9, and I'm watching, and I'm like, oh my God, executive producer Troy Carter, what? Troy? Right. Are you kidding me?
That's right.
So I was like, oh my God, let me call him to see if I can get him on, to get Eve to come and visit the kids or whatever. But I had tried to reach out to him for several weeks, and it was I was unsuccessful. And so I finally reached somebody at his office, and I left my number numerous times, and she was just like, she was a buffer. She was doing what she had to do. Like, who are you? I'm a friend, and this, and that. And I never heard back. And like a month later.
You suck!
Right.
So one day I get a call at home. Okay? And he's like, can I speak to Tanell? Who's this? This is little Troy. I'm like, oh, what's up, Troy? He said, how long you been trying to reach me? I said, about 3 weeks.
Wow.
And he said, take down my home number and myself. You need anything, just give me a call.
That's crazy.
So from there, I told him what I wanted. I said, well, it's too late. I have a program for kids. I want Eve to come out. Is there any way you can send me like 20 headshots to say dreams do come true, to give them some hope? He said, you got it.
Wow.
And you'll have it in a couple of days. Well, I didn't get them in a couple of days. And
oh, man.
You suck.
Another one. Right.
I called, I waited like a week and a half because I'm like, well, maybe he's a little busy. And
okay.
it was no answer and no one got back to me. And then he called me again and said, what's going on? Did you not get the headshots? And I said, no, she never. He said, she never sent them. No, you'll have them in 2 days. And when I called back, he had fired that assistant.
Wow.
But I had him in 2 days.
Serious?
Yeah, I had him in 2 days.
She lost her job for that?
She lost her job.
Because you was important to him?
Maybe so.
I think so.
Yeah.
You was very important. You know,
Yeah,
people
so.
never forget, you know,
That's
good
right.
deeds that you do for them.
That's right.
And, you know, he didn't forget. Obviously, he didn't forget if he fired her for not, you know, fulfilling what she was supposed to do.
Well, she was gone. I don't know, maybe something else she did.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but
Well,
that could have
maybe.
been it.
Well, shout out to Troy because, you know what I'm saying, he got the job done with or without her. He got you what you needed, right, in those 2 days.
Absolutely.
And, you know, if she didn't do her job, then, you know, she loses her job. That's just the way it goes in this industry. You know, you don't get too many second chances.
No,
you don't get too many second chances in this industry.
I think with Troy, I think this is about time I'll run into again because it's always a few years.
Right.
Because years down the line, I'm working. I'm working at I was temping at Pepsi.
Okay.
And the woman I was filling in for, she had a big meeting in L.A. with
Pepsi,
Pepsi. And she had a big meeting in L.A., marketing, entertainment. And I'm looking on the calendar, and I'm like, well, who is she meeting with? And it was little Troy.
Unbelievable. This dude is, little Troy is all over the place.
He's
all over the place. In fact, he was managing Lady Gaga for a minute.
That's what I found out. And at that moment, it was Lady Gaga. I'm like, wow, now he's with Lady Gaga. Last year, I just saw him on Shark Tank as a shark. So he's doing his thing.
That's
you
dope.
know, he's
That's
doing his
super
thing.
dope,
I'm
Troy.
so proud and happy.
He worked
for
with
him.
Will Smith too. I Googled him. I did some research on him. He's worth $60 million. He's out there, like you said. He was a guest on Shark Tank. He was on. He was in Enterprise, the cover of Enterprise magazine.
Yeah.
Black Enterprise magazine.
Black Enterprise.
You know,
and I think Fortune.
Fortune too.
Yeah,
that's right.
Fortune.
Troy is all over the place.
Yeah.
And you never know. Like, you know, you meet these people. Like, you know, like for me, like I go to talent agency. I go to 99. I'm involved in 99 talent agency. And, you know, on Fridays I have to go to a class, you know, the acting class, cold script reading, things of that nature.
Nice.
How to wear your hair, how to dress, all these different classes. And while I'm in there, sometimes it gets a little boring. But, you know, I have to keep in mind that I'm in here, like I think I told you, but the next Denzel Washington might be in here.
Right.
The next Whoopi Goldberg, you know, the next Halle Berry might be in this room with me. So, you know, I go in there with the right attitude all the time. I'm always in there with the right attitude, meet people, things of that nature, you know?
Yeah.
That's dope, Tanell. That's dope. But
yes,
you work for Capitol Records.
Yes.
Universal Records. Bad Boy.
Yes.
You work for Bad Boy Records.
Bad
That's
Boy.
B.I.G. Bad Boy
Bad
Records
Boy.
is B.I.G. Bad Boy. You know, and you know Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy is from around the way.
Yes.
You know, he's Harlem, but he's from Mount Vernon as well. You know, we went to school with P. Diddy. And, you know, how is it working for Bad Boy Records?
Bad Boy was definitely a label like no other. I tell you, it's like I could be. It was like home, like with your brothers and sisters. Honestly, I mean, I could be eating I think Popeyes was around there at the time, and I remember buying my lunch and going to my desk and sitting down, and I had a leg. I never forget. I was hungry. I had a leg and like a wing. I went to the bathroom. My chicken was gone. I'm like, who ate my chicken? It was like guys, dudes walking back and forth, but
Family.
it was just like family,
I
know.
understand
And one
how it
thing
is.
I learned a lot, you know. I learned a lot working at Bad Boy and working for someone like Diddy, like under his leadership, because
Yeah.
people could say what they want about him,
Mhm.
but what I'll say is that he's very militant, but I understand how he got there. It's like
Right.
you have to be really strong, you know, in what you do and what you believe.
He's building an empire.
He's
and
building
he got,
an empire.
And he had to hold it down too.
Yeah.
You know, if people come take
Yeah.
over, you gotta be strong.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah, I
have to
remember
be.
one day I think Biggie's album Born Again was about to drop, and he wanted everyone to answer the phone, good afternoon or good morning,
Mhm.
whichever. Good morning, Bad Boy Entertainment, Notorious B.I.G. Born Again in stores April, blah, 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 blah.
Wow, yeah.
You had to
right.
say all of that when you answer the phone. And he would take the phone directory with him on the road or wherever he was and just call random numbers just to see who was actually saying what he wanted to say.
Dropping the jewel on you again. There you go again. Those of you starting your own business,
Yeah.
you know, you got to take charge. You got to
Yeah.
know what you want, know what direction you're going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to know these
You
things.
have
Like
to
Puff
know.
had a vision, and you know he was making sure that he fulfilled everything that needed to be fulfilled
Yeah.
to make his vision actionable
Absolutely.
and tangible. You know,
And
that's dope.
it was some of his tactics actually that I took with me,
Mhm.
you know, down the line. Like even with my magazine, and I had my team of people. I would do stuff like when we meet every week. Like
Right.
I want each of us to be a part of that magazine, and then you tell
Dope.
me how different it is. If you're the spine of the magazine, is it sturdy? Is it different? How is it different from an Essence? Or how are we going to stand out from the font of the magazine? If it's italicized, is that a feminine product we're talking about?
You listening?
So,
right.
you know.
You know, Tanell, Tanell is super cool. She's super dope. You know, I Googled
Thank
you.
you.
I Googled Tanell. You know, I looked,
what'd
you
you
know.
find?
Just found a lot of things, you know. Usually I don't read the comments,
Okay.
you know, but like with you, I started reading the comments,
Okay.
right? And you got a lot of love out there. And you got some haters too, but I
Yeah.
got a surprise for you because I wanted you to address some of these haters. So I
Oh,
got two of them.
God.
I got two of them right in the back. And I'm going to bring them out so you can address these haters.
Oh, wow.
Come on
Okay.
out, fellas. Come on. April Fool today.
You know what?
April Fool. I had to get
You
April
look like you
Fool.
was holding that like the whole time. Like, oh, I can't wait. Like,
Yeah, I had to get you with that. I had to get you with that. April Fool, Joe. I was just saying. You know, you had to see her face. You know, I'm going to make a clip of that one. But yeah, but Joe, tell us before I want very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
You was telling me before that they offered you $1 million. Tell us that story, real brief.
well, I'm not going to drop names.
You don't
I'm
have
not
to
gonna
drop no names.
But I was back in, it was like 96, 97.
Mm-hmm.
I was offered $1 million to write the tell-all gay rapper book
Wow.
because the person knew.
Who the gay rapper,
gay
was,
rapper
and they wanted to expose him
Yeah, and they wanted to expose them.
for $1
And
million.
they was like, think about it. So I thought about it, and I came back to him. I was like, nah. He was like, what? You don't want to do it? I was like, no, because my credibility means more to me than anything.
That's dope.
I'll be able to carry my name.
See that? Because if she did do it, she would have been blackballed. You'd have been finished.
Yeah.
They'd have been like,
You suck!
you'd have been over with. You'd have been done. But here she is now. Sometimes you can't. All money is not good money. And you better pay attention
That's
to that
right.
because people start chasing that dollar, and all of it is not good money.
It's
you don't
not.
want to have that. You don't want to have some of it. Some of it you rather pass up.
That's it.
You know, if you want to live like peaceful life, because some of these people are making life miserable.
Miserable.
For sure. And wait, speaking of books, you wrote another book. You wrote
Yes.
right.
It's on the shelves now. It's No Secret with Carmen.
Carmen.
Yeah.
Carmen is
Nas's daughter's mom.
baby mother.
Yeah.
Nas's baby mother. But yo, Tanell wrote that book, yo. She wrote the book, Carmen. Yeah, she wrote that book. I read
Yeah.
the book. I actually read the
You
book
did?
when I was in the can. Yeah, I couldn't wait to read it. I read
Yeah.
the book, and I thought it was a dope book. And she said a lot.
Yeah.
She definitely
did. And it's funny because so Carmen and I were friends. We met at Capitol Records.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I was writing. She knew that about me.
right.
And she was just like, I want you to write it.
Write
to
the
them.
book.
you know, because she already knew my history and stuff like that. And
That's
I moved out to LA
resume.
and, you know, and stayed with her and Nas. And she was like, you know, I don't have the money, but we can, you know, figure some things out. And I said, well, you know, personal has nothing to do, a business has nothing to do with our personal.
That's right.
So I'm going to draw up a contract. She was just like, all right. I said, you have to sign it. We agreed on a number. I drew up the contract, and she signed it.
Dope.
And
that's
started writing.
You got to give her a round of applause for that, the contract, because some people don't think of that.
No, they don't.
No
you
contract.
Have to. You definitely have to protect yourself.
Right.
You start off as friends, and let me tell you, money will change things.
For sure.
As it did with me.
For sure.
In her situation. So, yeah, I had that contract, and after we began working together, a lot of things started to change. And I knew I wasn't the front person because it was her story. So I didn't really need to have access to just what we agreed on. You know what it is.
Right.
You know my credibility is everything, and I just want my name on it.
Dope.
You know, and it turned out where, you know, 50 Cent had gotten involved, and they were going to do the G-Unit imprint with the VH1 books.
Oh man, you're all over the place, man. I'm telling you, it's amazing, all over the place.
So I don't know what happened with her, but I was kind of in the dark with what was going on, but I didn't need to be. Like I said, just give me my money and that's it.
Right.
So things started to change, and then when she got a deal with Simon and Schuster,
I know
VH1
about them.
book, Simon and
I know
Schuster,
about them, yes, for sure.
I was like, oh, but she didn't know I had copywritten the book.
Right.
I ain't say nothing. I just copywrote the book because I'm like,
she was just gonna get that money on the table.
That's
like,
it.
You know.
That's it. But I was like, I got to protect myself.
That's
so.
right. You better protect yourself. That's dope.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. You know, pay attention. Everybody needs to pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, you need these contractual agreements.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't have them, you know what I'm saying, you'll be out of luck. Straight up. You'll be gone. You'll be trying to get your money back, and you won't get it because you don't have nothing protecting you. You don't have any contractual agreements.
That's it.
So you need to have that.
Yeah.
And that's dope. That's dope to know that you even thought about that. You know, and you had the guts to actually say something, because sometimes people would be scared to stand up for their money. You know?
And it got bad. Like at one time I was embarrassed, like, wow, I can't believe this happened, because we were friends and, you know, and stuff like that. But it happened.
Right.
And after that, it was a really, really crazy experience, you know, to go back and forth and everything, because I had to sue her. And then I would hear, I remember Wendy Williams, who is this Tanell Davis? Come up here. And in the Daily News, they had a little, in the entertainment section, Tanell Davis. Who is this Tanell Davis? And, Sister Magazine. And so they asked me someone asked me if I would go on Wendy and just clear my name. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go up there and sound like a bird or sound like I'm trying to prove something. Because you was going to get attacked. And I said my work will speak for itself.
Dope. That's super duper. Give her another round of applause for that. Because she got the guts. You know what I'm saying? Carmen, you know, shout out to Carmen. That's what you get. Trying to be a rip-off artist. You know, nobody likes a rip-off artist. You know that. Yeah, so Tanell, we want to get into the clothing.
Oh, okay.
Because now, you know, we built this up because we have the Edge by Tanell. I see you have one of the pieces on now. Stand up so they can see that piece. That piece is dope right there. That joint is fire. Look at that. That joint is hard right there. Shout it out. Look at that. Joint is hard. She's making her own clothing now. You see that? Super duper dope. What is that called right there? What is that? That's called what?
It's a shrug.
A shrug?
Yes.
Yeah, step into the mic. There's a picture of it right there, the shrug.
Yes.
Look at that. The joint is hard. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. That's fire.
Yep, that's it.
That's it right there, shrug. That's dope. And they can find that on your website?
It's on the website.
Plug your website real quick.
Website is edgebytanell.com. EDGEBYTANELL.com.
That's right, Edge by Tanell. Go check that out. What else you got? You bought some pieces today.
Yes,
Let's pull them out.
So I have this bag. It's the Glam Rider bag. It matches the motorcycle bag.
Look at that. Got the, you see that? See this? Got the things on it right here. That's fire.
It matches the
You made
jacket.
this?
Yes.
Wow. Now, see, this is next level right here. The bag, the jacket, and the bag. You see this? This is dope. I like that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There you go. That's it right there. Look at that. What is that called? Pull the mic up so they know exactly what we're talking about here.
Okay, so that piece is
this is fire.
That's a multicolored Soho cropped hooded vest.
This is dope.
Yeah, it's
I
a
like
vest.
this. It's a vest. Let me see.
Oh, right.
What's that?
It's invisible.
Oh, yeah. It looks
Oh,
invisible
my God,
because it has
that's so
green on it. You know, we in a green screen studio.
That's so
is
crazy.
hard. This is dope.
Thank
Let me
you.
see. How do you open it, Tanell?
Oh.
Open it up for us so we can get a good look at it. That's nice. And it has the Edge by Tanell tag on it. I'm very impressed. And it feels very nice. It's nice and soft. And that's also on the website?
That's also on the website.
That is super dope.
That's on the website.
What about the shirt you got on? You got on the shirt too.
So the shirt is all woman t-shirt.
All woman.
All woman.
That's dope.
Walking in confidence.
That's dope. All woman.
I actually have one for your mama love.
Nice.
You gotta plug your mama love.
Mama Love?
That's from Mama Love.
Oh, you got one from Mama
brought one
Love.
from Mama Love.
She bought one from Mama Love. I know Mama Love is up there. I got a shirt. You do got a shirt, Mama Love. Hey, and listen, I want y'all, anybody that's listening right now, right above me, right there, you see is the number. You can call in and you can talk to Tanell Davis. You can call in right now. The number is 718-705-4959 or 914-968-6499. You can call in right now and talk to Tanell. I just sent you the number. You don't call me. Call that number, and you can speak to Tanell right now. So how much does the T-shirt cost?
The T-shirt is $26.50.
$26.50, and it's worth it. All woman, take a good look at it. For all of you out there, you should be rocking this. All woman.
It comes in black. Well,
That's
you see the
dope.
black.
That's dope. She got the black one on. Yep, we got a caller.
Got a caller.
All right. Hello, what's shaking, Turkey Bacon?
Hi, it's me.
Who? Oh.
This is Mama Love.
Hi, Mama Love.
Already, you
Hey,
calling.
how are you?
Hey, Mom, what's going on?
Oh, congratulations, Tanell. And I just want to thank you for remembering me and thank you for the shirt.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Okay.
It was a pleasure to meet
I'm
you.
feeling so special today.
Oh, boy. Yeah, oh, Mom, you got it.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much, my
You're
dear.
welcome, baby.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, and Dice, I
Yes.
love you.
I love you too, Mama Love.
Okay, bye.
We got another call. Hello?
I'm waiting for Tanell.
What's cooking, good looking?
That's my mom.
Oh, that's Mama Love. Mama Love in the building.
That's my Mama Love.
Hey, Mom.
Hi.
Yeah.
I just called to say I am so proud of you, sweetheart, and I love you to pieces.
Oh, I love you more.
You better know that white dress and that black dress. Don't let that sit behind.
Oh, the gown, the design.
Yeah.
You have it
Yeah,
with
I
you?
was gonna wear it, but it's too cold.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it.
You didn't bring it
It's
with you?
gonna- No.
Okay, well, I love your show. This
Thank
is my
you.
first time listening to it.
Oh.
I'm glad my daughter was on there. And,
For sure.
sweetheart, I'm sending you much love.
Mama
Enjoy
Love.
your night. Okay, bye-bye.
Indubitably.
Okay,
That's super
bye.
dope. That's super dope.
Okay,
Good
bye.
night. Hey, we got another call. Caller? They hung up. Call back, caller. Call back. What's shaking, Turkey Bacon? You can call me back. The number is 718-705-4959 or 914-968-6499. Yo, this bag is super dope. I can't stop looking at this bag.
It's on the site.
Yeah, it's on the site. Plug your site one more time. I need everybody to know.
The site is edgebytanell.com. EDGEBYTANELL.com.
For sure. And tomorrow is Tanell's birthday.
Yes.
Tomorrow is her
Yes.
birthday, so a big happy
Yes.
birthday shout out to Tanell for today. You know she's in the building. It's her birthday. You know we celebrating life all day. All right, call her, state your name. What's shaking, Turkey Bacon?
This is Miss Royal.
How you
Calling
doing? For?
to my Nelly.
What up, Deb?
Congratulations.
Thank
Looking
you.
good up there.
Sure.
Thank you.
so happy and proud of you. I heard
That's
Mom
dope.
calling.
Oh, thank you, Deb.
That's Debbie.
I told Mimi she needs to have on one of them shrugs.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The shrug is dope,
Her
ain't it?
little petite
It's
self.
dope.
Yeah.
The shrug is dope. I love it.
Thank you so much, Deb.
You're welcome. Love you.
Love you
All right,
too.
Deb.
Bye-bye.
Okay, what's good? Keep calling. Keep calling. You want to talk to Tanell. The number is 718-705. We got another caller. What's cooking, good looking? Okay. Hello? Caller?
Hello?
Hey.
I'm calling to speak to Tanell.
Tanell is here. Hello?
Huh?
You on the air. You live with Tanell. Celebrate life on No Negative Behavior. What's going on?
This is Jeanette. Hi, Tanell.
Oh, hi, Jeanette. How are you?
I want to say congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And also, I want to know if you can make that jacket you have on in lavender or purple.
Oh, my God.
Lavender. Only you, Jeanette. But you know
That's
what?
right.
But you know what? I have to say, you do look good in colors because I remember you always doing your thing in different colors, always different. But we'll we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect.
Definitely.
Thank
Talk
you.
about
Thank
it.
you.
That's
Thank
what's up.
you.
All
That's
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Show some love. Show some love to Tanell. Once again, the number is 718-705-4959. You can call in, speak to Tanell. Call in and speak to Tanell. Hey, Tanell, in the meantime, before we get to the next call, I got a clip. You got that Jay-Z clip? I just want to know, did you don't have it? You don't have that clip? Do you have that? You know, he doesn't have it. It was no, you don't have that clip. Oh, all right. I'm sorry, we don't have that clip. It was a clip of Jay-Z and Beyonce when my boy kissed on her. He kissed Beyonce on the cheek.
Way out of line.
Yeah, definitely way out of line. I don't know how I would have felt about that. We got another caller.
Where I'm going.
Hello? You on the air on No Negative Behavior. Live with Tanell Davis.
Hello.
Hello.
Tanell.
Chuck.
You know
What's
these
the
voices.
deal,
What up, Chuck?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you, T. There's no words. I don't even know what to say.
Well, Carol,
But
you know what?
congrats, I love you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love you too. Thank you for watching.
What's her name? Who is this?
That's my best friend, Carol.
This is
Okay.
Chuck.
Chuck. That's Chuck.
All right, that's what's up, Chuck.
Give him the nickname, baby.
Thank you for calling, baby.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chuck.
T.
All right.
Big up to you, dude, too. Big up to you, too, Big Dice.
Peace. That's what's up. We got another caller on there already? All right.
Yes.
What's shaking, turkey bacon? Hello?
I can hear the phone ringing. So this is Erica from Coast to Candy. I actually met them on Saturday.
Erica?
Yeah, this is Erica.
Oh, what's
I met,
up? Wait, is your phone still ringing?
Candy.
Is your phone still ringing?
Who's
Okay, yeah. Should I
All
try
right.
back?
All right, wait, hold on one second. All right, Erica, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay.
What's your question, baby?
Yes. Hi, Tanell. This is Erica from Culture Candy. I met you on Saturday
Oh,
at
hi.
event.
Yes,
How
hi.
you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was watching your interview with Dice, and it's good to see. I saw that you did some things, like turning down things for certain night and stuff, so kudos for that. But my question is, I know that you've been doing this for a while, so what was it that kept you going for so long? I'm sure there were moments where you, wanted to quit, but what was it that, kept the fire lit?
Wow.
Well, because I just wanted, and even though there were different paths and there's never one set place or time for success. You just keep going. And all those different things that I did, there were a lot of times where I just wanted to stop and go, I can't do this. It's too hard. But I just kept going because it's just like, no, I just feel it like I was meant to do something,
Right.
And I just kept going because I wanted it bad enough, hence me getting to this point now. Like this feels like the clothing line feels like this is where I'm supposed to be.
Edge by Tanell.
Right.
Yeah.
Dope. And you keep
I
doing
said,
your
happy
thing, Erica.
birthday.
Yes.
I
Thank
saw
you
your
so
birthday
much.
coming up. Happy birthday.
Wait, is this your cousin?
This is Erica,
Your
my niece. Yeah,
Well,
she sold about
let me
500
tell
candles
you,
the other day.
Erica, I bought your candle.
That's right.
I bought your
Yes.
your candles, girl. I burnt them the moment I got home.
Pretty pussy.
And no, I didn't get that one because
Okay.
I got finger pop and sweet ass. Those candles. Those candles are so nice. So thank you.
Thank you.
I will be calling you for more.
Super dope.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Much success to you.
Tanell, thank you for calling, Erica.
Thank you, Erica.
No problem. Have a good night.
Tanell,
yes.
tell them that story about how you learned how to ride a bike. Because people don't know about your determination. And, you know, we got, with Cruz, what time we out there? 8:12? 4 minutes left. I want you to tell that story.
I wish my mom was still on the phone to tell. So my mom told me about this story. I was 5 years old, and I wanted to ride. I wanted a bike because the bigger kids on my block, they all had bikes, but they were riding their bikes without training wheels. And my uncle put training wheels on my bike, and I had never ridden a bike, so I didn't want the training wheels on the bike. And they were like, "You crazy? You need the bike, the training wheels, because you're gonna fall. You never rode a bike." But I was so adamant, so he took them off. And as soon as I got on the bike, I fell off the bike and cried. And he said, "Do you want to put the wheels back on because you need it? You can't ride." And I said, no, I don't want it. So I got back on the bike and I rode a little more and fell again, and still was scarred up and cried, and still I didn't want the training wheels on. So I got back on, and the last time I just rode and just never stopped.
Determination.
Yeah.
Determination. Call her, state your name, your claim. What's shaking, turkey bacon?
What's going on? This Ray Murph. What's the dilly?
What's up, Ray? Cuzzo, what's up? He called all the way from Arizona. What's up, Ray? You got a question for Tanell?
Yes, indeed, man.
All right.
Yeah, man. I just really wanted to give her props for, being persistent, consistent, and persevering.
No question.
You know what I mean? Both of y'all, you know what I mean? But tonight is, for the ladies to shine, man, and then also happy birthday to you as well.
You.
But I just wanted to call and just drop love, you know what I mean?
All
it's
love, cousin.
always beautiful to see people doing their thing.
For sure.
Thank you. I appreciate
cousin.
that.
Appreciate you, cousin.
No doubt.
Blessings to you.
All right, man. You have a blessed. Yes, indeed. Happy birthday,
Thank
too.
you. Thank you so much.
And Tanell, I'm going to tell you very briefly that my father had took me around the corner from the house to teach me how to ride a bike one day. And he was holding on to the back of the bike as I was pedaling. And I was saying, "Dad, I got this. You know, I just knew that I knew how to ride. It's that determination. And I knew how to ride. So I'm like, "I got it, Dad. I got it." I'm like, let go. And he's like, "I already let go." He's way back there. And I'm doing it. I fell right after that. But, it's just that having that determination to know.
Yeah.
And I tell my niece that if you want to drive, you got to know you know how to drive already. You know it. You know that you know that you know. Simple as that. Plug your website once again for the people because they need to know.
edgebytanell.com.
That's right.
EDGEBYTANELL.com.
For sure. Edge by Tanell. You go check it out, copy a couple of pieces, make sure you cop a shirt.
Yes.
All women's shirt, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? You got anybody you want to shout out to?
Yes, I just want to say also just to keep watching because I have a lot of things about to happen.
Right.
And without saying, but I'm saying. I want to shout out an amazing team that I work with, the Parse NYC on Instagram, Cecilia and Caesar.
Dope.
I work with them, and they help me a lot with the pattern making and the sewing. They're really good people, a great bunch of people to work with. I want to give a shout out to Black Tag Apparel, friends of mine, and also who actually helped me get started. I want to give a shout out to Lashes to I4, a young entrepreneur. She's coming up, really sweet girl, and I mentor her sometimes.
That's what's up.
And who else? Oh, Balancing Who I Am is a new podcast that's going to start. I'm not sure when, but follow on Instagram. And I want to shout out to all of the entrepreneurs, everybody on the rise, everybody on the grind.
For sure.
Just keep going. You are exactly where you need to be at this moment. Just don't get comfortable there. Always go with the flow, but just know where you're going.
And I just want to thank you for coming out. I appreciate your company. It was well received, Tanell. Like I said, I always tell people as long as they're on the green side of grass to celebrate life, as you see, Tanell is celebrating life, and so am I. And, I just want to thank all my viewers for watching and tuning in and, for checking in with us. It's another episode down. We about to be out of here.
Let me shout your friends out. I don't know them.
They out of here.
Okay. Your friend's Life After the Feds.
Life After the Feds.
Life After the Feds.
For sure.
Yeah.
Life After the Feds.
Yeah.
I think, did we stop, Cruz?
Oh,
we are. Oh, okay. Shout out to Life After the Feds.
I haven't met those ladies, but I hear a lot of good things
They're gonna
about
be here.
them. They're going to be here.
They definitely coming.
Yes.
They coming.
Yes.
They coming with all the madness, with
Yes.
everything they got. They coming to the show, Life After the Feds. Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
That's coming soon.
Yeah.
For sure, Life After the Feds.
Well, thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for coming.
Yes.
We appreciate you. And Mama Love, I love you all the time. You know that.
Love you, Ma.
Yeah, all love. All right, this is another episode down. Thank everybody for tuning in. And see you next week. We're going to have Mayor Thomas going to be in the building. That's the mayor of Mount Vernon. And on that note, we out of here. Peace, y'all. Great show.
That went well.